At this time, we'll call the Human Service Committee meeting to order with a roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Foster.
Here.
Commissioner Hovey-Wright. Commissioner Hovey-Wright.
Here.
Chairman Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Laring.
Here, but again, I object because it violates the open meeting.
Commissioner Mahoney.
Here.
Commissioner Skolnick. Commissioner Skolnick, you're muted.
Hey, here.
Thank you. Commissioner Snyder.
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Here.
And Commissioner Nash.
Here. And we have a quorum. Next up is approval of the minutes for September 1st, 2020.
So moved.
Apart.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none. All those in favor use the vote of saying aye.
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 All those opposed. And that motion passes. Next up is public comment on an agenda item. Is there anyone in the public that would like to comment on an agenda item? Please raise your hand. We have a few.
Charles, Christopher Cross has his hand up.
Yes.
Hello, just wanted to briefly just thank the committee to look at approving the additional 5,000 that's being rolled over, carried over from the fiscal year 20 to 21. I appreciate that. I also want to report to the commission that in Fruitport Township, they had done a survey among their seniors asking what was the number one thing that they needed help with, and that service that they requested most, their number one was both lawn care and snow removal, just showing that the need for a larger amount of seniors needing this service in the Fruitport Township, and who knows how many other townships need that as well that just haven't done the service. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up,
Commissioner Nash, James
Kelly.
Kelly also has his hand up.
Hello?
James Kelly.
Yes. James Kelly, MSU Extension. I'm hoping you get a chance to browse the MSU Extension information that was emailed to you early this week, including the quarterly reports, a document that lists the virtual programming that we currently delivering locally and across the state, and also the upcoming ballot proposal reviews. I also hope you had a chance to click on the link to our annual legislative report that highlights the impact of MSU Extension across the state. We continue to be flexible and nimble in our response to emerging issues. And as I mentioned in my email, I'm really proud of the quality and quantity of programming we continue to deliver. I wanted to comment on the fact that your local investment allows our staff of 7 to operate within Muskegon County, having an impact in the area of health and nutrition, child and youth development, community and economic development, food, agriculture, and environment. It also supports the broader extension network that brings additional resources to the county, whether that be assistance with food processing hub being constructed at MCC, co-facilitating programs on racial understanding with our partners at Muskegon Health Disparities Coalition, or water resource education and research. The list goes on and on. Having a local presence is essential for MSU Extension, as the residents of Muskegon County routinely look to us for research and evidence-based information to help with a wide range of challenges. The approved MSU Extension budget for 2021 reflected no increase in our county assessment, no increase in wages, and we continue to seek ways to be a supportive partner agency for the county, operating as efficiently as possible. I also want to share my appreciation for the strong partnership we have with the Muskegon County Health Department and the support of the Public Health Director, Kathy Moore. I'll leave it with that. In anticipation, thank you for your continued support. 105 years of MSU Extension and Muskegon County working together.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. We definitely appreciate
Sure.
what MSU Extension is doing for this community. and has been doing for a number of years. Next up is Peggy Manzer.
Hi, this is Peggy Manzer. Just want to say good afternoon. I'm with Ravenna Township. I'm the senior coordinator here. And I wanted to thank you for considering the extension of the municipality allocation through the end of the calendar year. As a provider, we didn't get our resources until March, and of course, COVID hit. And so it has taken us a bit to reimagine and come up with ways to implement this as best we can. So having that extended, we are able to do a foot care program, but that also helps us get a chance to see, being at launch later than expected, how that will go. And also help us, use those funds fiscally wise and responsible. Also wanted to thank you for taking the time to consider the funding for the meal program and our transportation grant out here as well. And I noticed in the agenda item that the Ravenna Township, they have us down for $1,180. And my assumption that it had said that in the HS 20/20-25, that's 1/12 of $14,160. So if passed, I assume the intent is to extend both the funding for our meal grant and our transportation grant, because that is the total of $14,160. Thank you.
Commissioner Nash, that's all I have.
Next, we'll move to items for consideration. HS 2010-24 to extend the fiscal 20-year senior millage municipal allocation through December 31st, 2020.
Moved. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Foster?
Mr. Chair, how will that affect the municipalities Casanova, Eggleston, and Ravenna after October, as in the motion below?
Pardon me?
How will that affect the townships Casanova and Eggleston and Ravenna after the October, as in the motion below? Will they still receive financing in November and December?
We were waiting on the change that was supposed to happen with the administrative portion of it. And I'm sorry. No, we're waiting on the final tallies to come in so we can know how much we have, so we can do a reallocation.
Oh, as the chair, you're saying basically as long as the finances are there, the finances will stay there till the end of the year.
Yes, the finance is supposed to stay with you all, but I know that we had an issue regarding knowing where our monies were in a balance. So we wanted to get these books closed out so we could see what we could allocate going forward. That way we don't overextend ourselves.
Right.
Is Kathy Moore on?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, I am. This motion is the senior millage municipal allocation only. So this is an extension of the dollars they were awarded in fiscal year 20 that ended September 30th. It doesn't impact their municipal allocation for fiscal year 21. This just gives them an opportunity to spend the fiscal year $20 through December 31st. The approval that this board gave on November 19th of 2019 was that this funding was available through September 30th. So I brought this to you for consideration to extend it.
That's right. So we're talking apples and oranges. You're talking about 2021, but Gary, this is an extension of the fiscal year that ended at September 30th, but we're extending it through.
Okay. So,
Yep. And the next motion, Commissioner, those are RFP grants, which is different than the municipal allocation.
okay. So Kathy, could you please, Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yes.
So Kathy, what about, is the funding for Cazenovia, Eggleston, and Ravenna going to continue through December 31st along with this motion?
Only the municipal funding. So the Senior Activities Committee bring forth the recommendation for the grants. And that motion is in the next motion for consideration. I know this, and if we get to that, but I'll just address it quickly. I know this board asked that committee to consider it for the whole 3-month period. They thought because we will have time to see how much money is available, that they would consider it on a month-by-month basis.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, use the vote saying aye.
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 All those opposed? And that motion passes. Next up is HS 2010-25. Extend the fiscal year senior millage grant awards through October 31st as follows. Cazenovia Township 1,000, Eggleston Township 1,667, and Ravenna Township 1,180.
So moved.
So moved. Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, may I be a pain again?
Yes, sir.
Could we ask for a friendly amendment to have this say December 31st so these townships know how to take care of these 450 seniors that this affects?
That depends on the motion maker.
The reason that we did it just for a month was because we had to find out how much money was unspent for the 2020 year. And we don't know that till the middle of October. And we have a meeting, Senior Activities has a meeting after that.
So, Mr. Chair, would it be appropriate if I make a motion at this point or wait till a little later?
Well, we have a motion on the floor.
I will wait for it, sir.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
so extending that through December 31st, that would still throw us off as far as knowing exactly where we are with funding.
We would not have the exact numbers, at exactly right now. Again, that the extension through December was taken back to the Senior Activity Committee as a recommendation, and they discussed it and came back with a 1-month motion.
Okay.
So you do have 3 commissioners on that committee who was part of that conversation.
Right.
Mr. Chair, may I have one more?
Sure, go right ahead.
If that 15,000 or 18,000 we're talking for 3 months for these 3 townships will hurt that $2 million budget, we are misspending that money. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No problem, sir. Anybody else? Seeing none, all those in favor, use the vote saying aye.
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 That motion passes. Next item, HS 201026. Approve Living Word Church to carry over the remaining 5,000 of fiscal year 20 senior millage grant funds into fiscal year 21 for lawn care maintenance.
So moved.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, can I do it again?
Yes, sir.
Kathy, may I ask you how this will set them up for their funding for the snow season approaching us?
This really does not, unless the board allow the carryover to be used interchangeably, either snow removal or lawn care. If we have a heavy snow season and the demand is there, you could give them the flexibility of applying it to either. This motion does specifically say lawn care maintenance.
I would like to amend my motion to include snow or lawn care.
I would support that amendment.
Who made the original?
Repeat that motion, please.
I made the original motion and I amended to include snow care or lawn care. Snow removal or lawn care.
Mahoney is the second on that, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
All right, so that motion has been amended to add lawn care or snow removal. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor use the vote of saying aye.
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 All those opposed? And that motion passes. The next item is HS 2010-27. Move to accept the fiscal year 21 agreement for extension services in the amount of $148,594 to collaborate with Michigan State University Extension and authorize the board chair to sign.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
I think this is a great, great program and I'm really proud to be part of it.
Agreed.
All right. All those support, use a vote of saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And that motion passes. Next up is old business.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion to extend Eggleston, Cazenovia, and Ravenna till the end of this fiscal, or not fiscal, to the calendar year, December 31st, with funding for the approximately 450 seniors that count on it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor, use the vote of saying aye.
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 All those opposed? And that motion passes.
Mr. Chair, can I do another one, please?
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion that we adopt Ms. Moore's recommendations on the senior committee to take forth at the beginning of the new calendar year.
Second.
It's
Mr.
been
Chair?
moved and seconded. We will have discussion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, I think that's very premature. This was just presented to us on Tuesday. We just got the written copy. We didn't get that ahead of time. Nobody besides the Ms. Moore were consulted on this, not the chair of the committee, not the administration. I think this needs a lot more work. It's a major change in the way the committee functions. I think we need to look at it much more carefully than just a presentation at a meeting.
Are you suggesting another work session?
Perhaps.
Could I ask who made the motion? Who seconded the motion?
Susie, aye, Gary.
Gary?
You seconded
Commissioner
them?
Foster made the motion and Commissioner Laring supported.
Thank you.
Commissioner Nash,
Commissioner Mahoney.
I would like to join with Commissioner Hovey Wright in saying we need to take a lot longer look at this as to how it changes the order of things and what it does to the committee and their recommendations and how those move forward to give them to the commission. I think a real hard look at it. I was concerned that the three commissioners that are part of that board were not consulted as to what the change ought to be. I just think we need to look at it a lot closer.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, sir.
When the veterans award a Purple Heart, they do not consult with me as a commissioner. That is just done as part of their process. This senior millage is a broken senior committee. Ms. Moore is trying to fix it. We need to support her. She's our director. Thank you,
No.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner, I would like to respond to that. First of all, Ms. Moore is staff to our committee. She's not a director. She's not a voting member of this committee. It's different.
You can say that again.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner Skolnick.
No, I'm objecting to the way this thing is being jammed through. And I'm not going to support the motion. I mean, it's like all of a sudden, everything's got to be extended to placate a few townships. I want to look at this thing.
All right. Any other comments?
Could I ask for a roll call, please?
Ma'am.
Chairman Hughes.
Yeah, no.
Wait, could somebody, what are we voting on exactly? I'm not certain.
We're back to the change on the committee itself.
The reporting.
Adopting Ms. Moore's recommendations on the Senior Activities Committee.
And we do not have a copy in front of us. It was just introduced without any introduction or advance.
All right.
We were on the roll call, correct?
Let's start this over. Yes.
Okay. Chairman Hughes.
No.
Commissioner Laring.
Yes.
Commissioner Mahoney.
No.
Commissioner Skolnick.
No.
Commissioner Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins. Commissioner Wilkins?
No.
Thank you. Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright?
No.
Commissioner Nash?
No.
6 no, 3 yes.
Commissioner Nash, could I make a comment, please?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't know how to I don't know how to make a mail list out of an Excel
Bob,
spreadsheet.
can you
Mute, please.
microphone? Go ahead, Commissioner Hughes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to say, I think Kathy Moore had some real valid points. And I also think that the members of the committee had some real valid points. I just think it needs to be looked at a little bit closer. I'm not objecting to it outright. I just need to have a little bit more information.
Yes.
Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you.
may I?
Commissioner Foster.
I did not anticipate that going through, but I do hope that we will get a work session and possibly take some of those and implement them as soon as we can. Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner Foster, I would just comment and say that I think that we do need to move forward with some type of changes. I don't think we really sat and talked and discussed and had a consensus on exactly what we wanted to do or if we wanted to tweak it in any kind of way. But I do think that work session is warranted and we probably should be expedient in trying to get that done.
Agreed with you. Thank you.
This is Mark. I'll work with Director Moore and bring something back again. I missed that presentation, but I'll definitely work with Kathy to get something back to the board.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, any other? Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Yeah, I would agree. We do need to look at how we're doing things, but it's as somebody else said, this was too rushed, and we need to be more thoughtful about it and have more input from the committee, from the members, from us.
Great. All right. Any other old business? Any new business to come before this committee?
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a comment for this committee.
Commissioner Laring, go right ahead.
I would like to make a motion that we go to a hybrid meeting where those commissioners that feel comfortable meeting in person could do so, and those that wish to meet remotely could do so.
Any support? Seeing none, well, that motion fails. Any other new business?
I just would like that recorded in the minutes, please.
I'm sure that will be recorded. No new business. We'll move to public comment. Any public comment on anything?
I don't, I see Peggy Manzer has her hand up. I think it might be from before.
Peggy, did you have a
Nobody else.
Commissioner Nash, if this is a proper time, I'd like to address just the work session.
Go right ahead.
Again, it was just intended to be a work session. We had another work session that I presented in June, and I intentionally tried to make it very neutral and informational, but anticipating that maybe the discussion from that would lead into more details, working towards, just looking at the structure. I brought this up to the Senior Activities Committee in February of 2020. I brought some issues and concerns. The committee chair, Janet Perot, and vice chair, Greg Scott, came here to my office and we discussed, some things further in detail. They responded with, some suggestions, but then we had a COVID outbreak. So that was delayed and paused. In June, I sent the chair of the Senior Activities Committee an email trying to articulate the need to have discussions prior to an RFP for the reissuance of the grant administration request for qualifications. And that, again, I felt was perceived as me, going kind of behind their back saying, we need to have some offline discussions to figure out the details of the RFQ. So, yeah, that's it.
Well, I'll just say that, we appreciate the work that you've been doing, and I know you're doing your best to do this wholeheartedly and nonpartisan and be neutral. And we respect that work. I just think the motion was in a abrupt way, so that it was not something that was formally on the agenda, and commissioners reserve the right to want to have more time to look at things before they make a decision. So I don't think it's really a reflection on you. I just think it's a reflection on the fact that we just weren't focused on that for today. Any other discussions?
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes.
Ms. Moore, please don't even think this was aimed at you in a negative way. It was aimed at you as a benefit to you. I appreciate everything you do for our seniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Nash?
Yes, sir.
Received an email from Bill Zagman. He's working, letting us know about a House Senate Bill 1108. The bill is intended to retroactively sanction those remote meetings of public body which occurred April 30th through March 2021. To extend that, so the Senate today passed that. In my understanding, the House will take it up next week.
Okay. So it looks like moving forward, we would be able to
Senate and the House will approve the remote meetings. It appears as what he's telling me.
And it's great that our legislator is making those efforts to keep us safe. Any other public comment? Any final board comments?
I'd just like to thank everybody for all their efforts to get on this and move forward. We've made some great progress today. It looks like we're getting a little bit more comfortable, and I hope this works very well going forward.
Yes.
And I'd also like to thank the IT staff for the excellent work they did today.
And I actually want to thank you all for moving this to WebEx, because I do feel like it's very much more secure And we definitely do not want an embarrassing episode like what we had in the last meeting.
I agree.
Uh,
Thank you.
any more comments? This meeting is adjourned.